Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, being the 29th of March 2026, I'd like to welcome you again to our channel and express my sincere appreciation to you for having taken time out of your busy schedule to be with us here. And I'd also like to request that you subscribe to the channel and like the videos that we have done since our inception, and also comment in the commentary section below, not only about the topics and issues that we tackle or that we bring to the fore, but also about the methodology and approach in which we deliver the material to you. That will be highly appreciated. I don't take it for granted, and that will add a lot of value to our endeavor, to our initiative. This afternoon, I'd like to talk about a topic that in some way we have referred to, especially particularly during the earlier times of this channel. And it's the question of sovereignty and independence of a state, a country, in as what it means. And this afternoon we're going to take a particular interest on the question of or issue of food security and innovations in that space, as is the focus or the primary concern of this particular channel: innovation management and its innovation and its impact on development of African people. Now, any country or any state, for any country or any state to lay claim to independence and sovereignty, I'm talking about a real, genuine independence, where as an independent state you can make decisions and choices that are of interest to your people, independently and freely, without any coercion or force from any outside influence, whether that influencer is an ally or an enemy. For you to be able to lay that claim, there are a couple of factors that should characterize yourself. One thing, for you to be in any position to claim any sovereignty and true independence, is that one, there are certain capabilities or capabilities that should characterize you. One, that's very important: you must be able to defend yourself, to defend your people. That means you must have real borders and be in charge of those borders, and be truly in charge and be in a position to determine who or what comes in and what gets out of your country. So that would mean being absolutely in charge of your borders, the land borders, the air, the sea, the ports in those areas, the seaports, the airports, the land ports. You must have absolute control of those for you to lay claim to sovereignty and independence. That's number one. That is, you must be able to defend your people from external forces of any kind, and internally be able to defend your people with your forces in the military, air, sea, sea forces, and the police services internally for stability. That's number one. Number two, be able to defend your people. Two, you must be able to feed your people. There must be adequate, sufficient food to feed your people. There could be extra that you produce that you can export to other people, but that's secondary. Primarily, you must be able to feed your people. You must be able to produce enough food to feed your people. If you can't do that, then you can't claim any genuine independence. And other actors and forces, allies and enemies, will control you. They call it all sorts of names, politically correct names, acceptable names, but it will be control, and that's dangerous. So, without getting into much detail, and that brings me to this afternoon's session. I say, like, we're looking at food security. So you must produce enough food and be secured in your food requirement and provision for your population, and that's very critical. And for the purposes of this channel, the point that I want to bring to your attention this afternoon is that how do we, as members of the innovation community at the core, and the society and the whole of society in general, but members of the national system of innovation community at the core, how do we make sure that South Africa as a country, and by extension Africa as a continent, are innovative enough, develop innovative technologies, programs, and so on, that results in the production and provision of food that is sufficient and adequate to feed its people. But we are looking at it from the technology innovation point of view, and we say, what institutions and programs should be developed and implemented in our country, the South Africa, and in other countries in the continent, that ensure that we are at the cutting edge, we're at the forefront of novel innovations that result in the production and provision of food that our people need, and we are secured in that environment. We are not dependent on others. That's the question that I'd like to pose. That I'd like to pose to all of us this afternoon. And in the South African context, it goes beyond that. And then, even as a province is huge, it's big, like, as, say, KwaZulu-Natal, for instance, with more than, 7-10 million people, and other provinces. How secured are they? Because if you are not secured food-wise, then other people will dictate to you, will dictate your fate. You see. So that's the question that I like to pose. And I'd like us to think about and think practically what can be done or should be done to make sure that we have innovative developments and programs that ensures food security. I thought today I'll just look at it from the food point of view, and for now, and leave, because of limited time that we have, and leave other aspects. But I think that's an area that's critical and sufficient enough to get you thinking, and thinking practically, and then what is it that can be done and that should be done to ensure that, there's no point saying, for instance, in the people of KwaZulu Natal, saying that we are the majority in this, but you don't produce your own food. So it means nothing if you cannot feed yourself. Other people, external people, or people within yourself, but who have external or even foreign interests and priorities, priorities and loyalties. Let's be frank, and loyalties. Then they'll control you and dictate your fate. That's the point that I'd like to bring to everyone's attention this afternoon, and we'll get back to it and expand on it perhaps at the next session. And I'd like us to think about it deeply, honestly, and to reflect on it, and be frank and face a reality that is before us, because food security is critical and very, 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 very important, and it cannot be left to other people to determine. And it's important that members of the innovation community engage with it. And as I always say in this program, Nguthemba Ngwagamataba, I thank you for your time, and I say bye-bye for now.